Thank you, Gene. Carlos, will you please come forward? Carlos Nucete is from Houston, Texas, and is a double major in international business management and land and energy management. Carlos, we would like to congratulate you as the winner of the first place Jewett Prize for your winning oration, My Story. Congratulations.
Buenas tardes, bienvenidos a la graduación 179 de Marietta College. Where's the translator? There's no translator? Oh, I'm supposed to say this in English, I'm sorry. I want you to know that my intention here is not to bore you with one of those really long commencement speeches that everyone talks about later at dinner. Recounting recounting how agonizing was to sit there listening to some foreign kid ramble on for hours. Instead, I'm hoping that by telling you a little bit about how I ended up behind this podium, you will walk away reflecting on your own story and excited for the next chapter in your life. Standing here brings up a mix of emotions that are really hard to describe. From being happy that I will not have to pile more student loans to being sad for living a place that has been my home for the past 4 years, a place that has given me so many happy memories. It has been an amazing journey for me to get to this exact moment in my life, and I would like to take a few minutes to share some of it with you. My name is Carlos Nucete. I was born in Mérida, Venezuela, and raised by my paternal grandparents. When I was only 3 years old, my father decided to come to the US in order to support me and my grandparents, as it was very difficult to provide the daily necessities for all of us. Just before my father left, my mother called him and told him, "If you don't come and pick up Carlos, I will leave him in an orphanage." You see, she thought that with this threat, she will keep him from leaving, but he was determined to find a better way to our family. Thanks to my amazing grandparents, I did not end up living in an orphanage, but instead in a very cozy and lovable home. I have to emphasize that it was a very modest and humble home. And sometimes we didn't have food to eat, and daily necessities were often scarce. Love was never absent. When I was only 12 years old, my grandfather died. We had been so close. He was the only father figure I had. His death changed my life completely, and I started drinking alcohol at that age. I started doing the wrong things and hanging out with the wrong people. My poor choices led me to have to leave my home in Mérida, because the only two places that I would have ended up were jail or dead. 6 months after leaving Mérida, my life was not better. It was much worse. I got to a point where I saw my future, and it was just a blank page. Really, there was nothing in it. At this moment, I decided to take action, and I called my father and told him that I wanted a better life. My father was here in the US, working 3 jobs at the same time to at least sustain me. But it was not enough for a boy from the slums with no vision of a better future, neither the will to try and make one. The idea of attending college had never even entered my mind. But when I called my father, he told me if I changed everything and turn my life around, he will find a way to bring me to the US and give me a better life. And so I did. In 2009, at the age of 18 years old, I set foot into US soil with no notion of the English language, no family members besides my father, and no friends. As I was getting out of that airplane, I promised myself I will become a completely different person from the troublemaking teenager I had been. I will become a success story. 7 years later, I stand here with still just a little notion of the English language, but with a great family called Marietta College. This is the way. This is the way I see Marietta College, as a family. It has been a very warm and lovable home since the beginning of my college career, just like the one my grandparents provided me when I was only 3 years old. There have been plenty of times when my Marietta College family has provided help and care about me. But there's this one specific time that I will always have in my memory and in my heart. And it helps define what it means to be a pioneer. On Saturday, September 28th of 2013, my grandmother died. Just 2 days before, my father was scheduled for a high-risk surgery. I was here in school, and I went to talk to a staff member who I often call my mom, and talked to her about what was going on. She listened and asked me if I was going home to be with my father after the surgery, but I was not able to because I just simply didn't have the money to do it so. Thankful for the ability to talk to her about what was going on in my life, I left her office and went back to my room. Later that afternoon, she called me and told me to go to the Student Affairs office to see the assistant to the vice president of Student Life. When I got there, I introduced myself, and we started talking about my situation. Then suddenly, she handed me an envelope with a $600 check from the school. She said, "Here, this is for you to go and see your father. It should cover your airfare and your expenses." It is an understatement for me to say that I was perplexed by what happened. There simply are no words for me to explain how grateful I am to Marietta College for doing something like this, for providing me the funds to go home and be with my father during such a tough moment. But this is just one of countless examples of how great the staff members and this school are. Here, you're not just another student. Here, you're part of the family, the pioneer family. I stated before that one of my goals when I came to the US was to become successful. But in my mind, at that age, and because of my background, I envisioned success as being economically rich, as having all the material luxuries I wanted. But now, after 4 years of experiences and opportunities here in Marietta, my idea of success has changed completely. There is a poem that I came across a couple months ago by Ralph Waldo Emerson, and I believe it perfectly defines what success means to me now. Let me take a moment to share it with you. The poem is titled Success, and it reads, quote, "What is success? To laugh often and much, to win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children, to earn the appreciation of honest critics and the betrayal of false friends, to appreciate beauty, to find the best in others, to leave the world a bit better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition. To know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived. This is to have succeeded." End of quote. So today, I already consider myself to be successful. And I think it would be safe for me to say that all of you here present are already successful people as well. I want to thank I want to thank Marietta College for giving me the opportunity to be part of a great family. I want to thank the professors, the staff members, and the class of 2016 for sticking together. I want to thank Linda Rush for not only being my FYE teacher, but my friend and my campus mom. I want to thank Fred Boner, who passed away recently, for being a great teacher and a friend as well. I want to thank my best friends here in Marietta, who pushed me and stood by me when times were difficult. But I need to give a very special and very personal thank you to my father for sacrificing and giving up on his dreams to make mine a reality. Each and every one of us has a story, a path that brought us here to this moment on this day, ready to embark on the next chapter. Shaped by our past and forged strong by our time and experiences here, we are the next great extension of the long blue line, with a future full of success awaiting us. Thank you all, and God bless. Grandma, I did it.
Thank you both, Carlos and G.